Hello, 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 everyone. Hello. Today, we are going to the movies once again to watch three out of the six movies that came out this weekend. Well, actually, right now, I'm headed there a little early so I can stop at the entertainment store the retro entertainment store that I stop at in Springfield to try and find like older movies and stuff on disc. There's a sale going on for that store this weekend for buy two get one free, so I'm headed there first. But then afterwards, I will be headed to the movies to watch. There were six. I thought there were I only knew of five, but then when this weekend came, I heard that there were six movies that came out. And there's only two movies scheduled to release next weekend. And those two are How to Make a Killing and I Can Only Imagine Two. I had planned on going to watch How to Make a Killing next weekend with two of the films, two out of the five films I didn't watch from this weekend. But now that I've heard that there's a sixth movie this weekend, which, anyway, yeah, so the three movies today that I'm going to watch in order is Crime 101 first, and then Sony Animation's Goat, and then I'll watch Wuthering Heights at 7 o'clock in the IMAX. And I've looked for the other three movies that apparently came out this weekend, but none of them are showing at the AMC. So these three I will watch this weekend at the AMC, and then next weekend I will come back to watch How to Make a Killing, and if I can find any other theaters in Springfield, Missouri that are showing the other three movies, then maybe I'll go watch two out of those three movies, or at least one of those other movies. But I really do want to watch those other movies because the other movies that are coming out this weekend are Cold Storage, which is the new Liam Neeson and Joe Keery movie. I think it's like a zombie movie, something like that. I don't know. I haven't been able to find it at any theater. The other two movies are, damn it, I've looked up the name of this movie like 10 times this week. You'd think I'd remember the title. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I think that's the title of the movie. I'm not for sure. But it's the new movie that's apparently about Sam Rockwell traveling back in time to try and get people to help him save humanity from AI or something like that. I don't know. It's basically like a Terminator movie. Yeah, it got something to do with AI and time travel, and it's got Sam Rockwell and looks really well. It looks really good. Looks really well casted and everything. But it's not showing at the AMC. Neither is Cold Storage or the third movie, which is the one I just heard about this week. That's Nirvana the band, the movie. Apparently, there's a show called Nirvana the band, which I've never seen that. I've never heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of Nirvana, the bands, like the musical group, but I've never heard of this show or this movie that is coming out this weekend. And when I looked at the Alamo Draft House in Springfield, they they are showing Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and Nirvana the band, the musical, this weekend. But then when I looked for show times next Sunday, neither one of those movies were on the schedule. Yeah, I guess I'll just have to keep an eye on that for next week, and maybe I'll go to the Alamo Draft House to watch one of those two movies. But yeah, I haven't been able to find those three movies in theaters anywhere, um, especially cold storage. So I may have to just, wait and react to those movies instead. Today, today I am excited because I have been listening to the Wuthering Heights book. Still haven't finished it, so I haven't finished the book, but I did sit down and watch the old black and white movie the other day that came from 1939, I think, is the year it came from. I was sitting down, editing another reaction that I was doing. Think I was editing like Bridgerton or something like that for this upcoming week. And you know what? When I'm sitting there editing or collecting footage for edits, for my fan edits or whatever, I'll have a movie going on my iPad or a TV show going on my iPad. I've I've been watching The Boys and I've been watching Smallville. Been watching, a lot of shows when I to catch up on for the new seasons or whatever. Like, yeah, The Boys, and I haven't started Invincible yet, but maybe I'll watch it as well. I don't know. Yeah, Invincible may have to wait until next year. Posting my Daredevil Born Again season one reactions that I had last year on the old channel. I started re-uploading those to this new channel because the second season comes out on March 4th. Anyway, yeah. Uh, a lot going on, but I'm headed to the movies, and yeah, I've been watching Wuthering Heights, been listening to the book at work. I haven't finished the book, but I'm excited to go watch this new movie, and it's in the IMAX, so hopefully it's good. It's got, Margot Robbie in it. Then the new Sony animated movie called Goat with Steph Curry and Caleb McLaughlin. Yeah, that's coming out today, so I'll watch it. Hopefully that's good. I've been excited to watch a animated basketball goat movie, and then the one I've really been excited for is that I like have hardly no clue what this is going to be about. I haven't watched the trailer, haven't watched or looked up the plot or anything for it. Don't know anything about it other than it's got Chris Hemsworth in it, it's got Halle Berry in it, and it's got Mark Ruffalo in it. I've been seeing them three, doing interviews together and promoting this movie. I have no idea what this movie's about, but it's called Crime 101. And they have a showing for it in the IMAX as well, but I would have had to wait until like 10 or 10:30 to watch it tonight, and yeah, I can't do that. Edit this review and edit, more reactions. So I can't be staying at the theater that long. So sadly, I don't get to watch it in IMAX, but I am I'm gonna watch it first. Yeah, hopefully it's good. Don't know anything about it, but I will be back to review it after a while. Well, I spent a little bit more than I wanted to in there, and it's already, time for the movie to start, but I've got a few minutes till the movie actually starts. I've got like 30 minutes, probably more like 20 minutes still. But anyway, I bought some comics. I bought, it was buy two get one free today. So I bought some comics. I bought Daredevil Born Again, 2 weeks away from season 2, so perfect timing. I've already been reading it on my iPad, but now I get it in physical form. Got Deadpool and Wolverine, World War II, and I've got Ultimate Spider-Man. And then I bought a selection of movies and shows as well. Some of it's for my sister. The 3 One Tree Hill seasons I've got in here. I've got a few myself, but I've been buying her some lately as well. I bought her like 2 or 3 for Christmas, and bought her 3 more today. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, so these are for her. The 3 One Tree Hill seasons. But then this is for me. I got 2 still books. I got Captain America: The First Avenger and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Got 2 of those still books. I got the full Toy Story collection because I didn't have that in my collection yet. I realized I was missing Thor Ragnarok earlier, so I picked it up. And then I got The Moon, and I got The Last Days on Mars. And I will be reacting to those 2 movies on like in March or April, just in time for Ryan Gosling's new movie that he's working with the creators of Cloudy of the Chance of Meatballs and Across the Spider-Verse and the 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street movies. Like those the creators of those are working with Ryan Gosling on that new space movie that's adapted by the book. I forget the name of the movie though. It's Project something. Project Hail Mary. That's what it is. Yeah. So closer to when that movie is releasing, I will be reacting to more like space and moon movies. Because I've never seen like these 2 that I picked up today, and I've never seen like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I've still been looking for it. I haven't been able to find it anywhere at all. I may have to either rent it on Amazon or maybe find a copy of it being sold on Amazon and have it sent to me instead. Spent quite a bit more than I wanted to, but I got quite a bit of goodies that's going to last me a few months. And yeah, I shouldn't have to go back to that store for quite a few weeks. I think I've got all the movies I'm going to be reacting to the next few months. And yeah. Anyway, I'm headed to the movies, and I will be back to review Crime 101. That was a brilliant movie. Crime 101 was action packed. It was very thrilling. It's got a bunch of, it's about like thieves and cops, and like it's basically like cops and robbers. The game Cops and Robbers. It's basically like Chris Hemsworth as this thief that doesn't hurt anyone, doesn't harm anyone. He just there to to get his money and then get out of there as fast as he can. And then you got Mark Ruffalo, who is the cop who, is like chasing him and trying to find him, he's basically like the detective trying to solve the case. And then you got Halle Berry, who is like a uh is who looks not looks who works for this security firm basically. It's like a she's this person that goes out and looks for clients to bring into her firm and sell them like security stuff, like whether it's insurance on like all your stuff that you own, so in case anything does go missing, you got insurance on it. um then they also like make sure you got security and or insurance on your like security alarm and your safes and all that as well. Like she does all that. Like she sells insurance and all that security stuff. Um, for yeah, that's what she does, and that's her role is the people that Chris Hemsworth is going after. Like he has to go, charm her and get the details of her company and like kind of bring her into the job to be able to get the diamonds or jewels that he was trying to or the cash that he was trying to get. And then there was also somewhat like I can't think of his name, but the guy that Sabrina Carpenter dated, and like all of her songs are about um not not the kid that also dated Olivia Rodrigo and left Olivia Rodrigo for Sabrina Carpenter, but the other guy that Sabrina Carpenter actually was dating. Um, can't think of his name. He was in that movie Saltburn, which I still haven't seen, but I've heard of his scenes in that. Anyway, I can't think of his name, but he also appears in this movie, which I didn't know he was supposed to be in this movie. That was a that was a fun surprise seeing him pop up as another thief that that the guy that Chris Hemsworth kind of like works for hires on this other thief to follow Chris Hemsworth around. Like, man, like, yeah, there's just so much happening in this movie with just like four or five different people, and you're following them along throughout their. I think it takes place over a week. So throughout their week, um, is when you're following them and all the crimes that Chris Hemsworth is doing, all the stuff that Mark Ruffalo's trying to stop, all the people that Halle Berry has to meet up with for her security stuff, and then all the stuff that that kid is doing, like following around and following Chris Hemsworth around, and also like robbing banks and other jewelry stores and causing a bunch of fucking harm and killing a bunch of people, and like that dude is was going crazy. But yeah, it was a wonderful movie. It was a brilliant movie. Kind of reminded me of um oh, what's that movie? It was one of Chadwick Boseman's last films, and I think the Russo brothers produced it. And if I believe right, J.K. Simmons was also in it. and it's like Chadwick Boseman as like a FBI or a detective or something, um, going around the city having to solve some crime. Yeah, like if you ever watched 21 Bridges, this gave me a lot of those vibes. Um, which I really enjoyed 21 Bridges when it came out a few years ago. It was one of the first movies I like actually remember. I think I watched it. I think that was the one I was working in Riverside, California. So I was watching it at one of the AMC's there in Riverside. Uh, I also watched Across the Spider or not Across the Spider Verse, but Into the Spider Verse when it came out on premiere night. I was in California, and yeah, watched it on one of the giant fucking Dolby IMAX screens there in California. On it, yeah, that was probably one of the best experiences I ever had was watching Into the Spider Verse in California. But I also watched 21 Bridges while I was there, and I think Tenet was around that same time as well. And yeah, like I really enjoyed 21 Bridges. It's one of Chadwick Boseman's last films. I think that was 2018 and he died in 2020s. I think he had like one or two other films that he filmed, but they didn't come out until after he had already passed away. But 21 Bridges, I believe, was the movie that came out right before he passed away. And yeah, it's so sad. So sad, man. Like I remember the day I heard the news that he passed away. Anyway, like I really enjoyed 21 Bridges and those type of movies. Those just like, you know, following FBI or like a cop trying to solve a crime, like The Bone Collector, with Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. That's a good movie, Bone Collector. You also got Seven. That's one of the most infamous, you know, like crime investigative movies. Um, is is Seven, and then you also got True Detective and those type of shows. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, Crime 101. It was a spectacular movie. Had a lot of really great action sequences in it that I just wasn't expecting. And yeah, like it had a bunch of Marvel stars. It had mostly Marvel stars, because I forgot that guy also the kid that dated Sabrina Carpenter was also in Eternals. So you got the kid from Eternals, you got Storm from the X-Men, you got Hulk, and you got Thor. Like when I was watching it, and the few sequences that you had Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo on screen together, like I was sitting there thinking of Thor Ragnarok, which is funny because I just I just purchased it today because I realized I didn't have it. So I bought Thor Ragnarok today and here they are on screen together again. And this year I don't think it's been confirmed that Hulk is in Doomsday yet, but I don't know why they wouldn't have him in Doomsday. But he is supposed to be in, Spider-Man Brand New Day this July, and then we get Doomsday, which Thor will be in at least, and that comes out in December. Yeah, a year for Marvel and Marvel cast members, man. I'm gonna go watch Goat now. I've still got like an hour, so gonna go waste some time. Probably go walk around in the mall for like an hour. Well, I went to Battlefield Mall and I wasted about an hour. Walked around and wasted about an hour. And I didn't find much. I need new shoes, so I was walking around looking for some shoes and some clothes. Didn't find much, but I did. I did stop and get me some Annies from Annie Ann's, and I also found a Care Bear Funko Pop and a a Funko Pop of my favorite food item, which is Kraft mac and cheese. Check that out. Never seen that before. Kraft mac and cheese Funko Pop. That's awesome. Never seen that before. But now it's part of my collection. Anyway, I've wasted enough time, so I'm going to drive back to the movies now. Try down on my pepperoni pretzels. I wanted the pretzel dogs from Annie Ann, but they didn't have any of those. They were making them. I didn't want to wait around for them, so I got some pepperoni pretzels instead. Yeah, yeah, those are good. Well, I'm gonna try down on this. Drive back to the theater. Watch them go. Well, y'all, I just finished getting out of watching Goat in the AMC, and that was such a cute movie, man. It, it was phenomenal. Like the animation, I knew was going to be peak because it's Sony Animation Studios or Sony Pictures Animation Studios that has made both Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. So I knew the animation was going to be peak. But I didn't know how well the animation was going to be peak, man. Like the animation sometimes felt well, there was one scene in particular where you're following like the I don't even know what kind of animals Jet was. I think she was like a panther or like a jaguar or something. I think she was a panther. I think she was because she was all black. Yeah, I think she was a panther. Anyway, like there's one scene where she was like running out of her house, like sprinting out of her house and going uh into her car and then driving to her like I don't know, like management or whatever, like wherever her manager was, to her manager's office, I guess. And that scene where her sprinting out of her house before she even gets into the car, like it looks like she's like kind of drifting as she's running. And then she gets into the car and starts like booking it down the road into town to her manager's office. And yeah, then she actually starts drifting. But the animation before she even gets into the car, when she's like sprinting to the car, she was down on all fours, like sprinting and like like completely booking it, and like it felt like she was drifting on the screen, man. And then there was other times, like when they were actually in the basketball games, and like the way they edited all the basketball games and stuff had me thinking I was playing like Super Mario Strikers on the GameCube, which I guess most of you guys are probably more familiar with the newer versions of the Mario sports games for the Switch or the Switch 2. But I'm familiar with the Mario sports games for the GameCube. So I grew up with Super Mario Strikers for the GameCube, and even the basketball courts that they showed off in this movie felt like they were just pulling from Super Mario Strikers. Like the soccer courses in Super Mario Strikers, especially the final court, basketball court in this, looked like it was Bowser's palace in Super Mario Strikers. Like it like it felt like the editing and like the courses and just the way they were framing this movie, they were pulling from like all the Mario sports games, and it was wild. Like the animation style mixed with like all the different courses and or like basketball courts and yeah, like the different animals that they were playing with. You know, of course, the main character is a goat, but then you have the panther, who is basically like the co-lead of the movie, and then you have like all the other basketball players on their team and the other teams. Like they're all like different animals. You got like horses and giraffes and rhinos and um like a goat, a panther. You got like alligators. You got a ostrich, which the ostrich, I knew that the voice actor for the ostrich, I can't think of the ostrich's like the character's name, but the ostrich, whoever voiced it, I knew the voice sounded familiar because I had been watching other stuff with this person and didn't even like put two and two together until I saw her name pop up in the credits, and it's Nicola Coughlin, who is in Bridgerton. Like she is Lady Whistledown in Bridgerton, and she's she's the voice of the ostrich. Same with the rhino or the hippo or whatever that thing is. It's a rhino. I think it's a rhino. The I should really be more familiar with my animals, but like movies like Zootopia and now Goat and um like The Wild and Madagascar, like it, well, I guess Madagascar, yeah, you could you could tell which animals are which, but like yeah, like The Wild and this and Zootopia, sometimes it's a little hard to tell what kind of animal that is. Anyway, uh I knew that the I think it's a rhino that had the two daughters in the movie. I knew he sounded familiar too, and about halfway through the movie, he said a certain line in the movie. I don't even remember what the particular line was, but he said a certain line in it. I'm like, oh, that's David Harbour. That's David Harbour. I've heard him say that line in Stranger Things before. I don't even remember what line it was. It was just a simple line, something like I don't even yeah. It was just like a generic line, and I was like, that's David Harbour. I've heard it. I've heard him before. I was like, yep, that's him. I didn't realize just how many like Netflix people were in this movie because then, yeah, you have Caleb McLaughlin who is who's playing the goat, who's playing Will. I think that's his name. Um, like he's the main character, so you got him as the main character. Then you got David Harbour his uh as his teammate on the team, on the basketball team. And then I looked up the cast afterwards because I saw the credits and another name popped up, and the name looked familiar. I just couldn't picture who it was. So I looked up the cast, and that's why it sounded familiar because it was another Stranger Things member. The guy who plays Argyle from Stranger Things was also in this movie voicing Moto, I think. I think he was the voice of Moto, which is funny because that's the hippopotamus's name in Madagascar 2, I think, right? Moto Moto. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Like I loved this movie, man. The animation, the casting, the editing and the effects that they showed off, like it was amazing, man. This movie was spectacular. Fucking spectacular. I loved everything about this. And I don't think I've mentioned it before, but I used to play basketball in like middle school and high school. This was the once like I played soccer when I was younger, not for school though. It was for it was co-ed soccer for the city. Oh, you stupid car. Yeah, anyway, it was co-ed soccer for the city that I used to play for. And my dad was the coach. And it was me and my best friend and one of my cousins, and we were all on the soccer team together. Uh, that was like elementary when we were in elementary. Then we went to middle school. My best friend and I moved up to middle school, started playing basketball, and he went off to play football. I played football like 1 year, well, half a junior year and into my senior year. But it was pretty much basketball for me. And I had a basketball court at home, right in my front yard. I had like a cement pad that, like, we used it as a driveway, but we'd back up the cars when I wanted to play basketball. So we'd have a concrete pad with a basketball goal out there, or yeah, whatever. And yeah, my friends would come over after school and we'd play basketball right there in our front yard, or whenever they went home or whatever, I'd just be out there shooting basketballs by myself, or my parents would come out and shoot basketball. We'd play horse or frog. They also played that in this movie. The panther and the goat played a little bit of horse in this movie. That was fun watching. Seeing them just shooting basketballs at different locations, doing different tricks and everything. Like, uh, why am I blanking on their names? The people that do all the tricks and stuff for YouTube. Uh, why am I blanking on their names? They got like millions of subscribers. I used to watch them all the time before they got like real big. Um, I forget their names, but yeah, it reminded me of this movie. Just reminded me of a lot of different things, and I loved it. It was spectacular. It was spectacular. If you like animated movies, if you like sports movies, go watch this. Go watch a bunch of animals playing basketball for 2 hours. Not really for 2 hours. It was probably about, I don't know, I'd say the basketball games probably last about 30 to 40 minutes, but it's about half the movie. But still, I loved, basketball movies. Like Coach Carter was one of my favorite movies to watch. You got Samuel Jackson as the coach. Um, you got that new, when Disney Plus first came out, they had uh they had Uncle Jesse, John Stamos, uh, playing a coach for a, well, he was a, like, a professional coach, and then did a bunch of things and got kicked out of that league and had to go start coaching at a all girls school. So he became a, I don't even remember what the name of that show was, but I watched like the 2 or 3 seasons of it before it got canceled, and I cried watching that last episode dealing with like the fires and stuff. And yeah, it was beautiful. But I love sports movies, especially basketball movies and stuff like that. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't even know what time it is, but I'm gonna have to get in here and go watch my next movie now for IMAX. I'm gonna go watch um Margot Robbie, and I don't even remember who else is in this movie. I think Jacob Elordi is might be the other person in this movie. Anyway, I'm gonna go watch Wuthering Heights in the IMAX. So, oh, I did forget to mention one other thing before I go back in here to watch Wuthering Heights in the IMAX. I did want to show off the new popcorn bucket I got here at the AMC. I'd seen these on TikTok and knew that they were selling these at certain AMCs, but hadn't seen them at this AMC. But they got them finally, and that is the DC, the DC popcorn buckets that they're coming out with for the DC anniversary. I don't. I think it's like 100 years of DC or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. There's something, some kind of anniversary for DC Action Comics, and so they made certain popcorn buckets, and they had the Action Comics, which is the classic Superman one. They had a different Superman one. They had Wonder Woman, Batman, Justice League, but I liked the classic Action Comics, the original Superman ones, and I think it opens up. Yeah, it's a normal popcorn bucket. It just opens up, but it would be this make a pretty neat little, uh, bookend on a bookshelf as well. Like set it on the bookend or set it. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, or hide anything you want in here. Maybe use it as a candy container or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I just wanted to show it off. And I got something else with it too. I forgot about that. It did come with a little lanyard and like a little card, Action Comics card. Get the glare off of it. But yeah, I got that today. So anyway, just wanted to show those off real quick before I go back in here to the movies. But I will be back out here to review Wuthering Heights in just a few minutes. Put my hoodie on. It's cold out here. Oh, do need the hoodie on. Walked out of the IMAX. It's freezing outside. Turn the heater on. Yeah, I just finished getting out of the IMAX, as you can see. Just finished getting out of the IMAX. And shit. Didn't mean to do that. Anyway. Uh sorry, it's freezing. I'm lost my mind. I don't think I have hated an ending to a film as much as I fucking did that one. And maybe listening to the book, which I still haven't, finished the book. I'm still like reading the book, currently reading the book. So I still haven't finished the end of the book. Don't know how it like ends. Um but surely it's more closer in line with the older adaptation, the 1937 adaptation. because I'm pretty sure they changed the ending to this film from the book, and I fucking hated it. Let's just say that. I don't think I've hated a character in any movie as much as I fucking hated Nelly in this fucking movie. I wanted to fucking strangle that bitch. I've never seen anyone get in the fucking way as much as she fucking did and ruin someone's life just because. I don't know why, actually. I don't fucking know why she did it. She just kept fucking getting in the way of them being together. And it ended up killing one of them at the end. It's so fucking dumb, dude. I fucking hate this movie. Like the rest of the movie is great, honestly. Like I was loving the movie up until the last 20 minutes of the of the movie. But when you get to the 20 like the last 20 minutes to the very end of the movie, oh my god, man. Fucking hate that bitch. Fucking hate her. Why was she just constantly just in the way and causing problems for their relationship? They could have been together a long time ago if it fucking wasn't for Nelly. God damn it, man. In the 1937 adaptation, Nelly is the narrator. And in the book, I'm pretty sure in the book, Nelly is the one telling us the story. Like, she's the narrator. It is following her, like her perspective of events, I guess, of this couple's life. And that's how the 1937, the black and white adaptation is. Because I watched it, a few days or a few nights ago when I was editing Bridgerton, I think, when I was editing episode 1 of season 4 of Bridgerton, which I have a reaction for on my channel already. And I'll be doing episodes 2 and 3 this week. But yeah, I was sitting there watching the 1937 adaptation while I was editing videos. Had it going on my iPad and was, editing and watching it. And I was in love with that film. I was in awe of the film, and I don't watch that many black and white movies. Like every so often I will. Like I've seen the classic Godzilla and King Kong movies. I've seen the originals. And I've seen, the original Wuthering Heights. Of course, Wizard of Oz is like 1940 or something like that. I'm pretty sure. And so like I've seen a few black and white movies. But it's not really a genre I normally go to. Like I have been looking for all the original Universal monster movies because I would like to go through and watch all the original Universal monster movies and then watch all the other Universal monster movies that everyone's been readapting, the past few years. Like several other directors have been trying to make monster movies or adapt monster movies, whether it be for the big screen, like you know, uh, like we're getting. Oh, we just got a new version of Dracula here in the past month, and last year we got a new version of Wolfman. Pretty sure that was last year. We got the Invisible Man movie, and We've gotten plenty of werewolf movies, actually, plenty of Dracula movies. But I would like to sit down and watch like the originals, the classics. At some point, I just haven't. I haven't been able to find them yet. Um, so I will watch a black and white movie every so often, but it's not something I really get invested in. Like I really have to like just be in that mood for or in the mood for that, you know. Um, but I did sit down and watch the original Wuthering Heights the other day, and in that movie, like Nellie is the narrator, and it's you her telling you her side of their life, and at the end, like yeah, spoiler, uh, Kathy does, or yeah, Kathy does end up dying, and like Heathcliff sees her ghost, and like he goes chasing after a ghost, and like it's a Romeo and Juliet type of story. Like they one dies and then the other one dies, like go like chasing after her or whatever. And but this one they completely flipped it, and they were like, no, this time we're gonna make Nellie the bad guy, and she's gonna be the problem this entire movie. And I don't understand why. I don't understand it. I don't understand her reasoning, or why, like her mindset of why she would try to keep these two apart the entire movie. I just don't understand the mindset of this lady. Never hated a character so much, man. Never hated an ending of a movie so much. Yeah, it's just, it's an awful ending. It's an awful ending. I enjoyed the rest of the movie, like the like uh way they like capture like the landscaping, and like the way they escape or capture the different emotions that the characters are feeling without even having to say anything. Like you can understand what they're thinking. Like the cast did phenomenal. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, they did phenomenal. And the musical scores and the yeah, just the cinematography and the set design. The set design was fucking phenomenal, man. Like the castle designs and the different room designs and stuff that they pulled off. Like that looked great on the IMAX. I'm not hating on the movie itself, because the rest of the movie is phenomenal. I just hate the ending of the movie. The ending, they should have just stuck to the script of the book or of the other movie. I guess I really need to finish the book to see how the book ends, but yeah, they should have just kept to to the ending of the 1937 movie, because I hated every minute that Nellie was on screen. Yeah, I've never hated a character so much, man. But I enjoyed my day. I had a great time watching Goat, and watching I can't even think of the title of the first movie I watched. Now it's been fucking 6 hours since I started watching it. What was the first? I can I can picture, like it's still going through my mind. I can see all the visuals of everything that happened in the first movie with Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth. Crime 101. There we go. I got to it finally. It's been a long day. But I enjoyed Crime 101 this morning or this afternoon. And then, I enjoyed Goat right before this. I really enjoyed Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi in this film, but I just did not like the last 20 minutes. And yeah, it kind of takes the movie for me. Like that ending takes the movie. Uh, yeah, god damn, man. I just really do not like that ending. But the rest of the movie's fine. I love the rest of the movie. Like the movie made me cry. You know, it made me cry at the very beginning when they were still children. Before we even got to Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, I was crying. It was just that ending, man. Just that ending. They need to change that ending. Um, did not enjoy that. Did not enjoy being tortured by Nelly for the last 20 minutes. Hated that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Hope you guys enjoyed my reviews for these 3 movies. I will be back next week to review more movies, or you can watch all the reactions I will be posting this week. I've got um I've got tomorrow I'll be posting this review on Monday, and then I will also be posting Bridgerton episode 2 tomorrow, or yeah, on the same day as this review is being posted. And then um the day after this review, I believe, is Avatar The Last Airbender and episode 2 of Daredevil Born Again. And then Wednesday I will have Scream 5. And then yeah, so on and so on. I'll have episode 3 of Bridgerton on Thursday. I'll try and have Scream 6 ready for Friday, and then Bridgerton episode, or Daredevil episode 3 will also come out on Friday with Scream 6, and then I will have Bridgerton episode 4. I think I have it on Saturday. Yeah, you guys see where it's heading. But keep an eye out for all those reactions. I will be back next week to review Cold Storage if I can find a theater to go watch that. Same thing with Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, the new AI time travel movie. I'll try and find a theater to watch it next week as well. So I'll watch those 2, possibly. But then a definitive yes for How to Make a Killing, which I did find out who the star of that is, and it's Glenn Powell. I saw a poster in here for it's Glenn Powell, and the poster reads he has like 7 relatives to get through. And with the title being How to Make a Killing, I'm just going to assume this movie is Glenn Powell going around and killing all his siblings so he can get inheritance money or something like that. That's my assumption of what next week's movie is going to be. But yeah, I will be back next week to watch that, and I will see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.